was a lot to talk about after that.
Yeah, it was. I suppose look at the crowd came up with their droves, and the atmosphere was fantastic. And I actually felt, I think a lot of our players, particularly our young players like Gary Buckley, Kerrod Morrissey, Johnny Dunleavy, Brian Miller, haven't played in front of the crowd like that before in Cork, and I actually thought we were quite nervous for the first 20-25 minutes. We were nervous, but we settled down, and I felt that sort of we were sort of under a bit of pressure and soaked up a little bit of pressure, but I still felt that we were comfortable, that we hadn't looked like conceding. And in the last 20 minutes before half time, obviously we came more into the game and got the goal. Gary got the goal, and going into half time we were quite pleased. We were concerned obviously with the yellow cards, and we looked at it, but the very pace of the game was very high, and it was a hard game. Even looking at options of bringing fellas in off the bench, the pace was so high, fellas could come in and might get to the pace of the game, and we just felt that we'd leave it. So we're disappointed with the goal we conceded. We had a couple of options to cut it out, but look, these things happen. But the passion, the attitude, the commitment of the players was absolutely, couldn't ask for more. It was, we just said then afterwards, if the guys put that attitude for the rest of the season, we'll be all right.
Sending off as costly, your captain. What was your view that I know the yellow cards was irrational?
Well, there was, and I suppose look, it's difficult nowadays because sometimes the tackle is still allowed, but at the same time there was no nasty challenge, there was no bad challenge. Just trying to nick the ball and win the ball, and it was one of those where we just picked up yellow cards, and it was difficult. And I think in the second half, Johnny just. He was on the yellow. You have to be a bit careful, and he just dived in. But look at the end of the day, sort of, I'm not going to criticise him because the attitude in pre-season has been fantastic, and I think you could see tonight that our fitness levels were very good, and I think our attitude, we had real determination tonight, and you're playing Pats and you're down to 10 minutes, 25 minutes to go, 1-1, and it's a tough place to be, but I think we restricted them well, and we did well, like.
John, you said before the game that maybe it wouldn't have been the fixture you might have picked, but now that it's over and you've come through it well, could it be used as a real positive now?
Absolutely, I suppose. I suppose what I meant by that was it was probably that if Pats come down, you're conscious that if you're beaten at home, and then the second match is waiting there, two unbelievably tough games. But I think it did give us the confidence. I think afterwards, the positives are that that we really played at times quite well, and even when we were under the cosh a little bit, we kept our shape, and I suppose we restricted Pats to quite a lot, very few chances, and but overall, I think it's a good indicator. It's like everything else. Sometimes you get in front of a huge crowd like that, you raise your game. The question for us is as a new team, a young team, can we keep the performances high, and can we keep that level of endeavour and intensity? And that's the challenge to us going forward.
And Johnny, a couple of new signings. Are you happy with how the team gelled?
Absolutely. Look at Pats have won the league. They're well established. They bring in Keith Fye, bring back Quigley. Guys, serious quality throughout the league, and like we're gelling a new team. And you had, if you look at the core of our side, you had young Lennon and a right back, it's fantastic. You had Gary Buckley, Kerrod in the middle of the park. They've been around a couple of years. Carney came in and did a great job, and then I suppose to be honest with you, like the wiser heads like the Billies and Colin and the lads at the back there, and Denny didn't kick a ball for us last year with injury, came in and did brilliant today, and but overall we were just we were solid, and we did well, and we'd have liked to have created more chances and stuff like that, but it was difficult, and Pats are a good side, and I suppose we were down to 10 men, and it was really difficult. But to be fair, Young O'Sullivan came in for Anthony. Anthony was tiring. Young O'Sullivan came in and gave us a bit of a presence up front there, which I think probably might have caught their centre backs unaware. They weren't sure what he was like, but he worked his heart off. So it was, I think overall it was a point that I think we well deserved.
John, you mentioned some of the lads wouldn't be used to playing in front of the big crowd, and you were well used to it as a player. But it was your first time as a manager. Was there any nerves for you just coming up to kick off? How did you feel?
I felt good. I felt good, Liam. I suppose look, it's know, I keep saying this, you know, I've been in management for 11 years, and I know it was amateur, but still I've been involved at the top level of amateur, and you've had FAI Cup finals and league deciders, you get nervous, and you get to deal with it. First occasion was fantastic. You know, I was thrilled. The crowd was so big. I was thrilled that people came out and support, because I think, you know, we've missed that. Do you know what I mean? And I was trying to stress to the lads all week. Do you know what I mean? That, you know, they've been used to maybe 2,500 people, 3,000. I was saying, lads, we're going to double that crowd. And I think the nervousness came from the fact that lads didn't realise the crowd was going to be as big as that. Even people within our club were saying I was off my game, predicting that we would have over 5,000 people, and I'm saying I was convinced we were going to have it, because the reaction, the coverage of local media was absolutely fantastic. Do you know what I mean? It's you know, but look at, hopefully they just come tonight. Hopefully 2 weeks time against Bray they'll be back, and hopefully against Rovers in a couple of weeks time they'll be back as well, and that's what we want, you know.
Now that it's over, John, how do you feel now?
I feel relaxed. I feel sort of, you know, everything is raced through your head. The game, could we have done this, could we have done that? But, you know, overall I think, you know, I suppose since I was appointed in November, it's 4 long months since the first game of the season's over. And I think overall, I think, you know, that you know, you're wondering how your team will gel, how it will start off. I think overall the indications for us is that, you know, we have I think we have a decent bunch of guys, and that's all I want.
There was great passion in the team tonight.
It was, but I suppose to be fair, I suppose look at, you know, I suppose people know what I'm about. They know I'm passionate about the club, and I just want guys who are passionate about the team. And if we're passionate, we have a chance. If we're not passionate, you're wasting your time. And you know, I'm trying to stress to the guys, and I think tonight they did themselves justice.
John, thoughts will very quickly turn to Limerick, which is obviously Monday night. What are your thoughts on that game, and I suppose can we expect a couple of changes?
Yeah. Obviously it's League Cup. You know, we have we go with a strong team, but certainly there'll be changes. And I suppose, look, it's one of those ones that, you know, you still have to be strong, but at the same time there are a couple of guys that need games. It's just a bit unfortunate when you look at the team tonight. Like we've tried before pre-season to bring in strikers to eradicate the problem we had last year, and you end up with 2 of your guys of 4 out injured. Morrissey and Rafter would have been absolutely in fantastic form in pre-season, and we all know about Morrissey. So, you know, that's a bit of a, you know, bit disappointing, but still at the same time, O'Sullivan came in and did very well, and, you know, we've young Leanne on the bench, so, you know, and hopefully Rafter will be back within probably within the week. Won't be probably necessary, but he'll be back the week after, so at least that'll help. But yeah, on Monday we will make a few changes.
And the fact the Derry game is actually Sunday gives you an extra bit of, I mean, it's insane going to Derry on Friday, I guess, you know.
Yeah, it's like with Derry, we go the day before, so we go Saturday, but at the same time it probably gives you an extra day recovery, which I think after the match like last night with Monday so close, you know, I suppose we'd have preferred to have had, you know, a lighter draw for Monday, but to pair ourselves against Limerick is a tough game, like, you know.
Yeah.
Did you just think it was just a bit of fatigue for Elding when he decided to make a change then?
Yeah, I just felt he worked so hard, and, you know, sometimes he was doing so much work off the ball, Liam, you tire. You know what I mean? You tire in a match anyway, but like at least when you're on the ball and balls in front of the box, making the effort, I think he was doing an awful lot of doggies and chasing and whatever and closing down, and I just felt he began to tire, and they started getting out a bit too easy then, I thought, and I just felt that he was tiring because he worked the socks off. So you know, he's obviously disappointed because he would have preferred they've got more chances, but that's just the way it goes, you know what I mean? So
You mentioned Brian Lenihan, and it was kind of noticeable that instead of just inviting a siege once you went down to 10, you were still taking opportunities to get forward, and Lenihan was one of the ones who was really, every time there was a bit of space in front of me, he went for it, didn't he?
yeah, well, Lennon is, you know, he's, you know, so much potential. The guy has been with the club for a number of years, but he's been injured. And you know, he's come from underage football where he's grown to the size, he's 6'2", and I think with his growth it affected his injuries and whatever. So this season, you know, he started pre-season a bit slow, came very good in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we have huge plans for him, and you know, he's an exceptional kid, and I think he'll be an exceptional player for us, you know, and he, you know, he really did well at full back. You know, Forster is a super guy, and I didn't think Forster got the better of him at all. And in the second half, you know, Lennon was trying to creep up along the line. He got up a couple of times, but to be fair to the guy, a lot of the lads have, they just need to bring out their confidence more that they have it. And I think, in the club, because they've had a disappointing season, particularly last season, I think it affected some of the younger guys, and they're inclined to play safe at times instead of going for the juggler. And we're trying to work with training and getting guys saying, go for the juggler and go forward and take the gamble. You know what I mean? And I felt that Lennon in one of those lads, and I thought tonight he made 5 or 6 tremendous runs on the line.
He looks a lot stronger as well this season, I think.
It's because I suppose he's training every day, and in fairness to him, he's a super attitude and a great kid, and I suppose he's looking after himself, and he'll only get better if he holds his head. He keeps his head down and works as hard as he can, and with the coach, the mentoring, with the whole management, he'll only get better in my eyes.
You mentioned earlier that you were very nervous for the first 25 minutes. Did the delayed kick-off have any factor in that?
Wouldn't think so. I just think it was the occasion which we were trying to deal with all week, that there would be a big crowd, and we actually showed them a video of some of the older days of the crowds that were there, and guys were remarking, the likes of Morrissey's and Gary Buckland, these guys were remarking they'd never seen crowds in Turner's Cross like that. So it was, in a bucket I was confident that the crowd was going to be big tonight.
Dave Barry actually said during the week that playing in a full Turner's Cross was like playing in a box, is how he described it. Would you hope to see similar crowds, I suppose, throughout the year?
Of course we would, and that's what we're about. And we need to get the results to keep them coming, and there's no doubt about that. But the bottom line is here. A lot of guys here are from outside of Cork, and in Dublin you have so many clubs. You've only one club, and if we can't get 4,000 or 5,000 people to our games in a city of 250,000 people, you know what I mean, or in a county of nearly 500,000 people, there's something wrong. Do you know what I mean? And it's up to and to be fair, the local media promoting of the club has been absolutely outstanding and fantastic, and long may it continue, and hopefully we can deliver on the pitch, and the crowds will stay high, and that's what we're looking for.
And John Gary played at the back a lot last season, but you used him in midfield today, and he got his goal. Do you see him more as a midfield player going forward, or?
I do really, because he's a great guy to get a goal. And in pre-season he's got quite a few goals, and he's a very versatile guy. But I think he's one of those guys that he always has a knack of popping up in the box, scoring. And I think in his pre-season he's got five goals, and the goal he got today, just in around the box, he always seems to be in that position. So I think Gary could have a very good season. And I'm certainly hoping he will.
John, is Phil Harrington back to stay as well as part of the backroom staff?
Phil, yeah.
He came in today.
Phil, yeah. Well, yeah. You're just looking in a nutshell. I received a call from Anthony Fennelly at 12 o'clock saying he's moving to Limerick. Which was good luck to him. And but Phil, we had Phil already brought in during the week because we had a ring that something was going on since last Sunday. And so we had brought Phil in, and Phil did a couple of sessions this week. He did yesterday, he did Tuesday, and he's there Sunday morning around the chat. He's working full time, which is more bit difficult, but he's certainly coming on board, and he's a great guy to have, and he's a fantastic goalkeeper coach. I'm thrilled with him, you know what I mean. So he definitely with us for the season.
Thanks, John. Thanks a million.